A premium AGM battery at the parts counter can run close to $300. Walk into Walmart and you'll find batteries built by many of the same manufacturers for a fraction of that price. Same manufacturers, different sticker. Walmart doesn't make batteries. It buys them from Clarios, Penn, and Exide, the same companies building the $300 names in volume nobody else in the industry can match. That doesn't automatically make every EverStart identical to the battery sitting right next to it on a different shelf. We're ranking 7 that are genuine bargains and 3 you should skip. Number 1 is up first. Number 1, EverStart Plus. You've probably walked past this one 100 times without looking at it. Bottom of the shelf, none of the premium branding next to it. That's exactly why it belongs here first. The Plus is built for a commuter sedan that starts once in the morning and once at night and asks for nothing else. No heated seats running off it at idle. No aftermarket sound system pulling current. Nothing beyond the basics the car shipped with. Around 600 cold cranking amps. A 2-year free replacement warranty. A real commitment, not a marketing gesture printed to look reassuring on the box. Walmart's Auto Care Centers test and install it for free on a compatible vehicle. So the sticker price is often close to the entire cost you'll ever pay for the battery, start to finish. Walmart buys the base flooded cell design at a scale that spreads its margin across the whole store, not just the battery aisle. Much of Walmart's flooded lineup traces back to Penn, a manufacturer that's been building batteries in Pennsylvania since 1946 and supplies Napa alongside its Walmart contracts. The same production lines feeding 2 very differently priced shelves. A comparable entry-level flooded battery at a parts counter, similar CCA, similar warranty, typically costs considerably more before installation is even added. Same chemistry, different overhead sitting quietly on top of it. It isn't the battery for a truck full of electronics. It's exactly the battery for everything else, which describes most cars on the road. The next one carries the same idea with a little more muscle. Number 2, EverStart Max. Still a maintenance-free flooded design, higher CCA than the Plus. A 3-year warranty instead of 2. Walmart betting an extra year on it, not on you forgetting to check the sticker before it lapses on its own. It's the common pick for larger sedans, SUVs, and light trucks that need more starting torque on a cold morning. And it typically sells for well under what a comparable conventional battery costs at a parts counter for the same job, before anyone even mentions installation. A heavier plate design costs more to build, full stop. That part isn't marketing spin. Walmart just absorbs more of that real difference than a parts store markup structure allows, the same way it does on the Plus 1 tier down. Before we go further, here's the tool that matters more than any name on this list. 4 checks you can run yourself, standing in the aisle, with nothing but the battery in your hand. First, cold cranking amps. Ignore everything else on the label until this number matches or beats what your owner's manual specifies. This is the number that decides whether the engine turns over at all on the coldest morning of the year. Second, reserve capacity. How many minutes your car keeps running if the alternator fails mid-drive. Higher is safer, especially with a lot of electronics on board drawing power the whole time. Third, battery type. If your car left the factory with AGM, the whole electrical system was engineered around it, sealed and built for constant cycling. Dropping to flooded to save money is the single most common mistake on this list, and we'll see exactly why it backfires later on. Fourth, warranty length. A longer free replacement window is the manufacturer telling you, in writing, how long they expect the battery to survive under normal use. One more thing worth knowing before you run any of this. 2 batteries with identical CCA aren't automatically identical products. CCA measures starting performance under a standardized lab test. It doesn't measure long-term durability, vibration resistance, cycle life, or manufacturing quality. And above all 4 checks, the group size and specifications in your owner's manual take priority over brand preference every single time. No amount of extra cold cranking amps fixes a battery that doesn't physically fit your car. The real gap opens once you leave flooded cell batteries behind entirely. Number 3, EverStart Max Group 65. This is where truck owners start paying attention, and rightly so. Higher CCA built for larger gasoline engines that need more current to turn over a bigger displacement, especially in cold weather, when oil thickens and the starter has to work harder. Strong reserve capacity for the day your alternator fails far from home, exactly the day you don't want to be thinking about your battery for the first time in years. Bigger batteries cost more to build no matter whose name is on them. More lead, more casing material, more capacity packed into the same group size footprint. That part's real. Exide, one of the manufacturers behind larger EverStart group sizes, runs plants across multiple countries and ranks among the largest lead-acid battery producers on the planet. This isn't a boutique operation cutting corners to hit a price point. What doesn't have to compound on top of the real material cost is a brand premium, and this one mostly skips that layer. If your vehicle doesn't require AGM, there's very little reason to pay AGM prices just to get a bigger flooded battery with a familiar logo on it. This is where flooded stops being enough for a lot of modern cars. Number 4. EverStart a GM Group 24F. Absorbent glass matte technology seals the electrolyte inside fiberglass matting instead of loose liquid. No maintenance. Real resistance to vibration and repeated charge cycles. The two things that quietly kill a flooded battery fast in a car packed with electronics. A lot of Walmart's AGM lineup, this one included, traces back to Clarios, one of the largest automotive battery manufacturers in the world. Clarios used to be called Johnson Controls before Brookfield Business Partners bought the automotive battery division in 2019, and it owns Optima and Varta outright, both of which sit north of $200 on a parts store shelf, built by the same company selling this one for a fraction of that. The 24F carries a 4-year free replacement warranty and typically sells for meaningfully less than AGM batteries at a parts store carrying a bigger name. A GM construction really is more expensive to manufacture than flooded cells, industry-wide. That portion of any price increase is real engineering cost, not manufactured scarcity. What isn't automatically justified is the extra markup a premium name stacks on top of that same underlying chemistry once it leaves the factory floor. It's worth knowing that the same manufacturer can build batteries to very different internal specifications, even within the same chemistry. Plate thickness, lead purity, separator materials, grid alloy, and quality control standards are all determined by whoever is ordering the battery, not just the factory producing it. Chemistry sets the ceiling. It doesn't guarantee any one battery reaches it, which is exactly why the 4 checks matter as much as the chemistry itself. The next one is Walmart's flagship fitment for cars that never stop asking something of their battery. Number 5. EverStart Platinum H6. Built for vehicles with start-stop systems, the engine shutting off at every red light and restarting the instant your foot leaves the brake, sometimes dozens of times on a single commute through city traffic. That cycle punishes a weak battery fast, wearing down plates that weren't built for that many partial discharge and recharge cycles in a single day, and AGM cycling ability is exactly what a name brand counter charges the most to solve. Around 760 cold cranking amps, roughly 120 minutes of reserve capacity, a 4-year free replacement warranty. A licensed AGM battery built for the same fitment routinely sells for substantially more at a parts counter, based on the same underlying AGM technology, even though internal construction and specifications may differ between the two. The difference isn't nothing, it's rarely proportional to the price gap you'll actually see on the shelf tag. The next one is for cars asking even more of their electrical system all at once. Number 6. EverStart Platinum H7/94R. Built for the kind of European sedans and crossovers engineered around heated seats, driver assist cameras, and digital displays all running at once, without anyone in the driver's seat ever thinking about it, drawing a steady background load even when the car is parked with the doors locked. Around 800 cold cranking amps minimum, roughly 140 minutes of reserve capacity, a 4-year free replacement warranty, priced in line with the H6 rather than in line with the car it's actually going into. Luxury badged AGM batteries built for this exact fitment often price themselves like the car sitting above them on the lot, not like the component they actually are underneath the hood. This one prices itself like a battery, nothing more, nothing less. And that brings us to the one that makes the entire case for this list. Number 7. EverStart Platinum AGM. Full AGM construction, a 4-year free replacement warranty, free testing and installation at most auto care centers. Much of the package a premium name sells you, often at a fraction of that name's price tag on the same shelf a few feet away, sometimes in the same aisle at the same store. If a premium AGM battery is quoting similar cold cranking amps and similar reserve capacity at close to triple the price, it's worth asking honestly what that extra money is actually buying you. Some of that gap is real, tighter tolerance control, tested cycle life under specific lab conditions, occasionally a longer warranty on paper that's worth something to a risk-averse buyer. This isn't a claim that every premium battery is a scam, and it would be dishonest to pretend it is. But a meaningful share of that gap is branding, distribution, and retail margins stacked on top of a chemistry this battery already runs, in many cases from one of the same major manufacturers building the name brand version, specs this close, on paper, and a gap this wide. That's the whole reason this battery earned the last spot on the good list. Before you assume every EverStart is a win, here are 3 ways this list goes wrong. The mistakes that have nothing to do with which specific battery you picked and everything to do with how you picked it. Number 1, EverStart value. Bottom of the lineup, built for basic transportation and nothing more. Shortest warranty in the range, lowest CCA and reserve capacity numbers. EverStart sells anywhere in the store, sitting well below even the +1 tier up. Fine for an older car with nothing plugged into it beyond a radio and a set of headlights. Better suited to older vehicles with modest electrical demands than to modern vehicles with start-stop systems or heavy electrical loads from cameras, sensors, and infotainment running constantly, even with the engine off. Cheap isn't the mistake here. Priced as though it isn't the mistake here. The difference between the value and the plus is often small enough that the extra CCA and extra warranty year are worth paying for on almost any car built in the last decade. Number 2, the wrong group size. A battery that doesn't physically fit your vehicle is the wrong battery, no matter what the spec sheet promises or how good the numbers look on paper. Wrong terminal position, wrong dimensions. None of the other checks on this list matter at all if this one fails first, because a battery that won't seat properly or reach its cables is unsafe regardless of its CCA rating, warranty length, or brand name. Check Walmart's fitment tool or your owner's manual before anything else. Before price, before brand, before all of it, since a battery with perfect specs on paper is worthless if it doesn't physically belong in your engine bay. Number 3, downgrading from AGM to flooded. If your car came with AGM from the factory, the entire electrical system was engineered around AGM's ability to survive constant start-stop cycling, voltage sensing, deeper discharge tolerance, resistance to vibration near the engine bay, and a charging profile tuned specifically for sealed AGM chemistry rather than open flooded cells. A flooded battery wasn't built for that cycling pattern, and it tends to fail early in a car that expects AGM, sometimes within months instead of years. Not because the flooded battery is defective in any way, but because it's being asked to do a job it was never designed to do, cycling far more often and far deeper than a flooded design was ever meant to handle. Dropping to a cheaper flooded battery to save $30 undoes everything the rest of this list gets right.